Okay, it's Monday, which means we have Vail Mountain Rescue in the studio with us this morning, and joining me, Shane. I was gonna do it. Shane Connary. Oh my gosh, always. The first time I think I ever interviewed you, it was yep. I almost called you Sean. Called you Sean, but which is a huge compliment. But anyway, Shane with Vail Mountain Rescue, and you've had a busy week this week.
We have. I think the summer floodgates are open. We had 6 different missions this week, and it was everything from people that were out there, good people that just made some mistakes or bad things happen, and we got to help them, and other people that maybe could have made some better decisions along the way.
Okay.
And so I'll just touch on a couple.
I think that would be great, because I always learn something new every time you're here.
Well, and so we've had 75 missions this year. And so on all of these 6, we pretty much had a response of 10 to 12 people. So that's 10 to 12 volunteers, because we are an all volunteer group, that stop work or walk away from their family or do whatever for 6 or 7 hours in some cases to help people in the backcountry. And so some of them can be pretty long. The first one, this was just good people having fun out on Cross Creek. 3 women out for a nice hike in the Cross Creek Trail. It's a great, nice, easy kind of rolling trail. And they got out about a mile past the bridge, so about 2 miles out on the trail, and one of them turned an ankle.
Oh no.
Right, so she's out there, and they called in to 911, which is great, and said, hey, hurt my ankle, don't think I can walk out. And so we went in and got to him pretty quick. And I've got some pictures of various missions, and especially this one where you'll see the headlamps. So this was late in the day, and by the time we got out there, it started to get dark, and here it is. And then to get 2 miles back with a litter on that trail, it took 4 hours.
Wow.
I mean, because you're trying to be as safe as you can,
right?
And it just takes time.
Sure.
So, so it was a long carry out. Some other pictures are of the next mission, and this was a group that probably could have made some better decisions. They were out there, and it was a church group from Wisconsin. They were going to do a multi-day hike and start in Beaver Creek and go in beautiful views of where they got lost. But they were going to go multi-day over from Beaver Creek up to the Missouri Lakes. And they got to Grouse Mountain Pass, and they got lost. They got horribly lost. And they spent about 36 hours trying to find the trail. And luckily, very luckily, the church group had bought this group that was out there, and it was, I should say, it was kids 14 to 18 with an adult guide, and they had bought them an inReach 2-way communicator to a satellite if they had an emergency. Well, after 36 hours, they decided they had an emergency. So they hit their spot or their inReach beacon, and that sent up a signal to a satellite, which eventually went to our 911 dispatch center and over to us. And since it was a bunch of kids out in the field, as you saw from the photos, we used Flight for Life, got a couple of people in there immediately to help them out, get them settled, get them so they weren't nervous, get them back on track. And then we brought other people in from the trailhead. And that was a 6-mile hike out. Wow. So, you know, our guys that came in hiked about 8 because they met the team and then back out. And it was just a long hike. But the folks that had the inReach, it's also a GPS. But they didn't know how to use the GPS part. They didn't know how to put in waypoints. They had a map, and the first thing they said was, when we got there, was, where are we? Where are we on the map?
Oh,
so,
man. Oh, like, we have so much more to talk about. So can you stick around?
I will.
Okay, because 6 missions in the past week. All right, so stay with us. Coming up next, we're going to look at that local weather forecast, and then we'll have more with Shane right after this.